I found a mythical spaceship at auction. They were about to scrap it. Alex Mercer had never been to an interstellar auction before. The lights of the space station hung dim and cold above the crowd, reflecting off metal walls that had seen better years. Ships of every size and shape were displayed in dusty hangars, some glinting with polish, others rusted and half disassembled. People moved between the displays, murmuring bids in soft tones, or inspecting rare alien artifacts. For most, it was just a day of deals and curiosity. But for Alex, it was an opportunity, one that could change everything. Alex's eyes moved quickly over the ships, noting engines, hulls, and designs. Most of the vessels were small freighters or cargo ships, nothing special. Many were outdated models, long past their prime. Still, Alex had learned early on that value wasn't always in what the eye could see. It was in what could be done with imagination, skill, and persistence. Humans had a way of taking things that others dismissed and turning them into something extraordinary. It was a lesson Alex intended to prove today. As Alex wandered through the hangar, something unusual caught their eye. Tucked in a corner, surrounded by cables, crates, and half-broken droids, sat a ship that didn't seem to belong anywhere. Its hull was scratched, its paint dull, and it looked smaller than it likely was. People passed by without a second glance, muttering that it was junk, a heap of scrap. But Alex paused. There was something about the shape, the subtle hum that came from deep within the hull, that made the hairs on the back of their necks stand up. "That's the Aurora's whisper," Alex murmured under their breath. A nearby vendor sneered. "You think anyone's going to pay for that old myth?" "It's barely a heap of metal, and it's been here for decades. Even if it flies, it's worthless. Scrap it and get a few credits from the junk traders." But Alex knew better. The Aurora's whisper wasn't just a ship. It was a legend. Stories of it had traveled across the galaxy for generations. Some said it could reach places other ships could only dream of. Others whispered that it was alive, that it had its own mind and chose its pilots carefully. Of course, most dismissed it as myth. Most were wrong. Alex stepped closer, circling the ship, hands hovering over its hull. Despite the scratches and dents, the ship seemed almost aware. Panels glimmered faintly, and the air around it felt charged, as if it were breathing softly. No one else noticed. To the crowd, it was junk. To Alex, it was a challenge, a mystery waiting to be solved. The auction began in earnest. Vendors called out numbers, and bidders nodded, signing papers, shaking hands. Alex tried to blend in, pretending to admire other ships while keeping an eye on the Aurora's whisper. No one seemed interested. The bidding for it was low, almost nothing. Alex knew this was the chance. When the auctioneer finally called out for the mystery vessel in the corner, a few people chuckled. "This one?" someone whispered, looking surprised at how small it looked. "It's nothing. Probably a fraud. Probably junk." The auctioneer agreed, giving the ship a dismissive wave. Alex's heart raced. Bidding was simple enough, though nerves always played tricks. A few small increases from other buyers, none serious. When Alex raised their bid, a few heads turned. "You're serious?" a tall, gray-skinned alien asked, eyebrows raised. "This piece of junk? Are you insane?" Alex smiled, ignoring the snide remark, and kept their hand raised. When the gavel finally dropped, the auctioneer said, "Sold to the human." Laughter and whispers followed Alex as they approached the ship. "Congratulations," the auctioneer said, shaking their hand. "Good luck fixing that, whatever it is."
Alex didn't answer.
The true challenge was just beginning. Alex stepped into the ship for the first time, expecting darkness and decay. Instead, lights flickered on, illuminating panels, consoles, and strange symbols. The air inside smelled faintly metallic, like ozone after a storm. A low hum thrummed through the floorboards. Alex could feel the ship moving slightly, as if welcoming them aboard. "Hello," Alex whispered, running their fingers over the console. A soft glow responded, and a holographic interface sprang to life. A voice, calm and smooth, filled the cabin. Pilot identified. "Welcome back. Alex froze. Back! Who? What are you? They looked around. There was no one else, only the ship, alive and aware. I am the ship, the voice said simply. I recognize the hand that chooses to awaken me. Alex's heart pounded. A talking ship? A living ship? It was beyond imagination. And yet there was no fear, only excitement. Humans were not the strongest species in the galaxy. Others could crush, outfight, or outmaneuver them. But humans had curiosity, courage, and ingenuity. Alex knew they could prove that even here, even now. Over the next hours, Alex explored the interior. Storage compartments held relics of old civilizations, some items clearly valuable, others mysterious and puzzling. The controls responded to thought as much as touch, requiring intuition, patience, and careful timing. Panels shifted as if alive, showing maps of star systems Alex had never heard of. Coordinates blinked insistently, almost urging them to leave the auction hall and explore the galaxy. By the time the auction staff had cleared, Alex had already discovered a partial map to uncharted systems, indications of an advanced propulsion technology, and hints of an intelligence embedded within the ship. It was clear. This ship had not belonged here for decades by accident. It had been waiting for someone capable of understanding it, someone who could see potential where others saw scrap. Alex left the station that day towing the Aurora's Whisper in a temporary hangar slot. Outside, ships of all sizes zoomed past, carrying goods, passengers, or mercenaries who would never guess the human, with a heap of junk in the corner, held the key to mysteries older than many stars. Alex felt a surge of pride and anticipation. The journey ahead would be long, difficult, and filled with unknowns. But humans had a way of rising to challenges no one else would attempt. That night in the quiet of the workshop, Alex ran diagnostics. Lights hummed, panels shifted, and the voice spoke again. Pilot, ready for first flight? Alex laughed, a mix of relief and exhilaration. Not yet, they said, but soon. Very soon, and for the first time, Alex felt the weight of a human truth. Myths were real, legends could be touched, and a human with determination could unlock what others only dreamed of. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and full of mysteries, but also full of opportunities. And humans. Humans had a way of making the impossible happen. As the night wore on, the ship pulsed faintly, as if acknowledging the future ahead. Alex worked tirelessly, repairing minor systems, learning the interface, and talking to the ship as if it were a companion. Hours passed, and the first hints of travel appeared. A jump drive flickered to life, reactors hummed, and a faint, steady glow came from the starboard engines. The Aurora's Whisper was waking fully, responding to human hands, human thought, and human ingenuity. By the end of Part 1, the ship had been claimed, partially repaired, and recognized its new pilot. Alex knew that adventures awaited, uncharted space, unknown civilizations, and tests that would push the limits of both human and machine. The legends had been right. The Aurora's Whisper was not just a ship. It was a challenge, a teacher, and a companion. And Alex Mercer, the human who saw potential where others saw scrap, was ready. The galaxy had no idea what was coming. Alex Mercer had spent the first few days after acquiring the Aurora's Whisper in a haze of awe and determination. The ship was no ordinary vessel. It was a living machine, intelligent, aware, and, it seemed, testing Alex at every step. Every panel, every console, every hum from the engines felt purposeful, as if the ship were silently asking, "Are you ready? Are you capable?" Back in the workshop, Alex had created a temporary control center. Computers and scanners lined the walls, showing power readings, hull integrity, propulsion diagnostics, and, most importantly, the ship's internal systems. The Aurora's Whisper responded in real time, its subtle hum growing louder as Alex moved through the cabin. The interface glowed whenever Alex approached, as if greeting a long-lost friend.
"Good morning, Alex," said one morning, rubbing tired eyes.
"Ready to teach me something new?" A calm voice answered. "I am always ready. Are you prepared to understand?" Alex smiled. "I hope so." The ship's interface flickered, and then a holographic map appeared in the center of the cabin. Stars, planets, and systems, some familiar, others completely uncharted, rotated slowly. There were coordinates to lost regions of space, markings that suggested abandoned colonies, and even notes about ancient civilizations that humans had only heard in myths. Alex's heart raced. "This is incredible," Alex whispered. "You're showing me things no one else has ever seen." "Yes," said the ship, "but knowledge alone is not enough. You must demonstrate worthiness."
Alex frowned. Worthiness? How do I?
Suddenly, the lights dimmed and the cabin shifted. Panels projected puzzles and symbols across the walls. Riddles appeared, some mathematical, some ethical, some requiring creative problem-solving. Alex realized immediately that these were not simple tests. They were challenges of the mind and spirit. For hours, Alex worked. Some tests were physical, navigating miniature drone simulations, rerouting energy through complex circuits. Others were mental, decoding alien symbols, predicting energy patterns, and solving logical puzzles. A few even tested empathy. The ship projected holograms of lost civilizations, asking Alex to choose which technologies could be preserved, which should be left alone. Every decision had consequences, displayed as subtle changes in the ship's systems. Alex paused at one challenge. A holographic alien city appeared, crumbling from neglect. The ship asked, "If you can save only one part of this civilization, what would you choose?" Alex thought carefully. Not the technology, not the weapons, the knowledge and the stories. The people's history. That is what matters. Without it, nothing else has meaning. The hologram shimmered and stabilized. The ship hummed louder. "Correct. Your choice shows understanding beyond mere logic. Humanity has compassion." Alex realized then that the ship wasn't just testing intelligence, it was testing humanity itself. Other species might have stronger bodies or faster reflexes, but humans had creativity, courage, and empathy. This, Alex sensed, was why the Aurora's whisper had chosen them. Days passed. Alex grew accustomed to the ship's subtle lessons, learning its systems and even discovering hidden features. Some panels contained star maps with wormhole coordinates. Others had alien schematics for propulsion engines that could travel faster than any human ship had ever attempted. Yet every time Alex tried to access these advanced features, the ship required a demonstration of skill, patience, or judgment. One evening, as Alex reviewed the ship's logs, the voice spoke again. "You have progressed well, but a greater challenge awaits. You must journey beyond known space and prove the limits of human ingenuity." Alex leaned back in the chair. Beyond known space? That's dangerous.
"Danger is not a measure of worth," the ship said. "Courage and wisdom are."
You will face conditions that no other species has survived. Will you proceed? Alex grinned. "Of course. That's why I'm here. I didn't buy you to sit in a workshop." And so, preparations began. Alex studied star charts, simulated hyperspace jumps, and repaired old systems using spare parts, improvising where necessary. Every success built confidence. Every failure taught a lesson. Sometimes the ship offered subtle guidance, but never the answer outright. Alex learned quickly that human intuition and creativity could solve problems even the most advanced AI could not anticipate. One test stood out. The ship projected a simulation of an asteroid belt, dense and spinning at impossible speeds. Alex was asked to navigate a route in which every collision would destroy the ship. For hours, Alex plotted, recalculated, and adjusted. Finally, with a combination of clever maneuvers and untested ideas, the ship's engines flared, and Alex passed through safely. "Impressive," said the ship. "You think like a human." Adaptable, persistent, unpredictable. These qualities will allow survival where others fail. Alex felt pride swell. Humans were often underestimated in the galaxy. Other species believed humans were weak, slow, or reckless. But in moments like this, Alex understood that being underestimated was an advantage. It allowed creativity to flourish, innovation to spark, and courage to shine. Soon, Rumors of the ship began to spread. Other engineers and traders whispered about the human who had found the Aurora's whisper. Some offered to buy it, some sought to steal it, and others simply wanted to see if the myth was true. Alex ignored them, focusing on the lessons and the journey ahead. The ship itself seemed protective, occasionally moving panels or altering readings to hide its true power from prying eyes. As the weeks passed, Alex discovered even more. The ship could manipulate energy fields in ways no human technology had ever achieved. It could stabilize unstable wormholes, generate energy from star radiation, and even repair itself using ambient materials. Most astonishingly, it seemed to sense Alex's thoughts, not in a literal sense, but in the way it anticipated actions, adjusted interfaces, and responded to subtle gestures. One night after another long day of learning and tests, Alex sat in the pilot's seat, staring out at the endless stars through the hall window. The galaxy stretched infinitely, filled with secrets, dangers, and possibilities. The thought was thrilling. For centuries, humans had explored the stars carefully, building slowly, learning cautiously. But here, with the Aurora's whisper, Alex realized humans could leap farther than anyone expected. With courage, creativity, and heart, a single human could achieve what others thought impossible. "Are you ready for the next step?" the ship asked. Alex nodded. "Yes, let's go further than anyone has gone. Let's find what's out there. Let's prove what humans can do." The ship hummed in approval. "Then we begin the journey, beyond known stars, beyond forgotten systems, to places where myths are truth and courage is tested." Alex felt a surge of excitement. Every lesson learned, every test passed, had been preparation for this moment. The unknown awaited, and the galaxy would see what a human could achieve when guided by curiosity, ingenuity, and determination. Before leaving, Alex paused. "I wonder how many other humans would do the same." The ship's glow pulsed. "Few, but that is why I chose you." For the first time, Alex understood fully. The Aurora's whisper had waited not just for a pilot, but for someone who could see potential where others saw only scrap, who could act where others hesitated, and who could persevere where others gave up. Humanity in a single individual had proven its worth once more. As preparations for the first journey into uncharted space continued, Alex reflected on everything learned so far. The galaxy was vast, full of challenges and mysteries, but humans had qualities no machine, no alien intelligence could replicate: creativity, compassion, and courage. And with those qualities, Alex would explore, adapt, and discover wonders beyond imagination. When the engines finally hummed, and the ship powered up for the first real test beyond the workshop, Alex leaned back in the pilot's seat, heart racing. Lights shimmered across the control panels, systems aligned, and the ship vibrated as if impatient to leave. "Let's go," Alex whispered. And with that, the Aurora's whisper activated its propulsion systems, ready to carry its human pilot into unknown space. The first step had been taken. The myth had awakened. And humanity, underestimated and overlooked, was about to make its mark among the stars. The Aurora's whisper glided silently through the starry void. Outside the cockpit window, familiar systems faded behind Alex Mercer, replaced by black stretches of space dotted with distant suns and swirling nebulae. The first lessons aboard the ship had prepared Alex for the journey ahead, but nothing could truly prepare anyone for uncharted space. Alex checked the star charts one last time. The holographic map displayed the coordinates the ship had highlighted, a series of points leading to a mysterious signal at the edge of explored space. Scholars had speculated about this signal for decades. Some believed it came from a lost civilization. Others thought it might be an alien artifact of immense power. Whatever it was, Alex knew it was important, not just for personal curiosity, but for humanity itself.
"Are you ready?" Alex asked, gripping the console.
"I am always ready," the ship replied. "But your choices will determine survival." You must navigate what no human has attempted. The first challenge came sooner than expected. A dense asteroid field appeared, stretching for light years, glowing faintly with charged dust. Asteroids drifted unpredictably, some tiny, some massive enough to crush a freighter. Most ships would have calculated a slow, careful path, relying on brute force shields or automated pilots. But the Aurora's whisper was different, and so was Alex. Alex studied the field, noting patterns in asteroid movement. Instead of avoiding them all, Alex plotted a route that used smaller asteroids as shields and energy slingshots. With careful timing, the ship weaved between rocks, occasionally twisting engines in ways that human engineers had not thought possible. The ship hummed approval, adjusting its energy fields in tandem. "You think like a human," it said. "Unpredictable, adaptive, intelligent." Alex smiled. "That's what we do best." After hours navigating the belt, the ship emerged unscathed. Alex exhaled, realizing that the danger had not just tested reflexes but creativity. Other species might have stronger shields or faster engines, but humans could improvise, see solutions, and adapt in ways no algorithm could predict. Beyond the asteroid field, a strange phenomenon appeared. A nebula that shimmered with violent colors, its gravity fields unstable and unpredictable. Sensors went haywire as energy readings fluctuated wildly. Standard AI systems from most civilizations would have shut down, refusing to risk entry. But Alex studied the readings, using intuition and observation rather than relying solely on instruments. "I think I see a path," Alex said aloud, more to reassure themselves than anything. By adjusting the ship's trajectory, factoring in gravitational shifts, and using microbursts from the engines, the Aurora's whisper slipped through the nebula safely. Panels flickered with energy flowing normally again, and the ship hummed contentedly. "You adapt where others fail," it said. "Your ingenuity is remarkable." Hours later, a transmission arrived. Faint, broken signals crackled through the communication system. Others would have dismissed them as noise, but Alex recognized patterns. The signals were not random. They were coordinates, warnings, and messages from civilizations long gone. Decoding them required patience, logic, and creativity. Alex worked tirelessly, mapping the signals and learning more about the galaxy than any human record had ever held. The next challenge was unexpected. A small fleet of alien drones appeared, scanning the region. They were sleek, fast, and heavily armed. Other pilots would panic or flee. Alex, however, relied on human intuition and strategy. The drones did not understand humans. They expected predictable behavior. Alex used this to advantage, tricking them with sudden maneuvers, using the ship's stealth systems, and even luring them into a field of microasteroids where they collided with one another. "Humans are clever in ways others do not anticipate," the ship said. "You understand threat, opportunity, and consequence simultaneously." Days passed, and Alex learned more about the Aurora's whisper itself. The ship had tools and systems far beyond known technology. Adaptive shields, gravity manipulators, and propulsion systems that allowed near-instantaneous shifts through space. But each system required judgment. Misuse could damage the ship, or worse. Alex realized that strength alone was never enough. Intelligence, creativity, and responsibility were key. Humans had all three in abundance. The final challenge of the journey came as Alex approached the source of the mysterious signal. A massive, ancient space station floated in orbit around a dead star. Its surface was scarred by time, partially broken, and clearly abandoned for centuries. Sensors detected faint energy traces, but nothing solid. Most pilots would have turned away. There was no guarantee of safety, no proof anyone had survived the station's systems. Alex docked cautiously. As the airlock hissed open, the station's ancient systems began to power up. Holograms of a long-dead civilization appeared, explaining cryptic symbols, energy conduits, and historical records. It became clear that this civilization had mastered technologies far beyond current galactic understanding. But the station had tests, too. The AI systems assessed Alex, presenting logic challenges, environmental puzzles, and moral dilemmas. At one point, a section of the station required redirecting a failing power grid to prevent collapse. The solution required using materials not designed for the system, rerouting energy creatively, and coordinating multiple subsystems simultaneously. Alex solved it using improvisation, observation, and persistence, the hallmarks of human problem-solving. The station's holograms responded. "Human, You possess qualities unusual in the galaxy: creativity, courage, and adaptability. You succeed where others would fail. Alex realized the truth. Humanity's strength lay not in brute power, but in the mind and spirit. Humans could adapt to situations machines or other species could not anticipate. Humans could create solutions on the spot, find hope in despair, and persevere when all seemed lost. The final task involved deciphering the source of the mysterious signal. Using a combination of the station's ancient databases, the Aurora's Whisper's AI assistants, and Alex's human intuition, the signal's origin was revealed, a cache of knowledge and technology designed to help species survive and thrive. It contained propulsion schematics, energy manipulation techniques, and cultural archives from civilizations now extinct. Alex felt awe and responsibility. Humans had discovered something incredible. Not just a ship, not just a station, but knowledge that could transform their place in the galaxy. And yet it was clear that what mattered most was not the technology itself, but the intelligence, creativity, and courage required to unlock it. As the Aurora's Whisper prepared to return, Alex reflected on the journey. The asteroid belts, nebulae, alien drones, and ancient station had been trials, each testing human ingenuity in a different way. Other species may have brute force or advanced AI, but humans had heart, creativity, and the ability to adapt. That was why Alex had survived, and why humanity could thrive. "Are you ready to return?" the ship asked. Alex smiled. "Yes, but not just to return, to share. Humanity needs to know that we can do more, that we can explore, adapt, and succeed where others fail." The engines hummed. The Aurora's Whisper left the uncharted systems, carrying both Alex and the invaluable knowledge gained. For the first time, Alex realized that this journey was not just about personal achievement. It was about proving that humans, often underestimated and overlooked, had a unique place in the galaxy, one of curiosity, courage, and relentless ingenuity. And in that moment, Alex understood the truth behind the myths. The Aurora's Whisper had chosen humans for a reason. No other species could think, adapt, and persevere in the same unpredictable ways. Humanity was not only capable, it was exceptional. As the ship navigated back to known space, Alex looked out at the stars, feeling pride and excitement. There were more mysteries, more challenges, and more unknown regions awaiting exploration. But humans, Alex thought, had the tools that mattered most: courage, creativity, and heart. And with those, there was no limit to what could be achieved. The galaxy had underestimated humans for too long. That would soon change. Alex Mercer gripped the controls of the Aurora's Whisper, staring at the glowing outlines of the ancient station that loomed ahead. The last leg of the journey had brought them farther than any human, or any species, had ever gone. The station, once the heart of a forgotten civilization, now floated silently near a dying star, its hull scarred by time and cosmic debris. "This is it," Alex whispered. The source of the signal. The ship's AI hummed in agreement. "Correct. This is where your decisions will define humanity's place in the galaxy." Docking was delicate. The station's automated systems were old, partially functional, and unpredictable. Alex guided the Aurora's Whisper carefully, using the ship's adaptive engines to align perfectly with a worn docking bay. Sparks flew as magnetic clamps latched onto the hull. The station groaned under its own weight, but held firm. Inside, the corridors were vast and empty. Holograms flickered along the walls, projecting images of beings who had long vanished. Some looked humanoid, others were strange and alien. All had worked together, building knowledge, exploring galaxies, and leaving behind secrets meant to help future civilizations. Alex felt awe. Humans had traveled far, but never to a place like this. Every corridor, every hologram, every symbol on the walls told stories of ingenuity, cooperation, and discovery. The station was a library, a laboratory, and a monument all at once. A voice echoed through the chambers deeper than the ship's AI, resonant and calm. "Pilot, you have arrived. To access the station's full knowledge, you must prove humanity's worth. The decision is not based on strength, nor on technology, but on character, intellect, and creativity. Alex nodded. I understand. The first challenge came immediately. A massive chamber opened, revealing a network of energy conduits feeding the station's core. Sparks danced dangerously, and sensors indicated instability. To reach the central archive, Alex had to reroute the energy through complex circuits, many damaged, many unfamiliar. Most pilots, or even advanced AI systems, would have given up. But Alex relied on human intuition. Observing patterns in the conduits, recognizing subtle signs of stress, and improvising with the Aurora's Whisper's adaptive systems, Alex slowly redirected energy flows. Sparks flew, lights flickered, and the AI guided, but never solved. Finally, the last conduit lit up. Energy stabilized. The station hummed as if waking from a long slumber. Panels projected holographic symbols into the air, forming a map of the galaxy with star systems that humans had never charted. Ancient technologies glowed, waiting for those worthy to understand them. Alex moved carefully toward the central archive. The final test awaited, an interface unlike any other. The station asked a question, not in words, but as a complex problem displayed in holographic form. It required logic, creativity, and empathy all at once. The holograms depicted civilizations in crisis, energy systems failing, and the choices of past species. Alex had to choose solutions that would save knowledge, preserve life, and maintain balance. Hours passed. Sweat dripped from Alex's forehead. Every decision mattered. And yet, at each step, humans' unique qualities shone: observation, ingenuity, compassion, and adaptability. By combining these qualities, Alex solved the final puzzle, unlocking the station's deepest secrets. You have proven humanity's worth, the station's voice declared. Not through force, not through technology alone, but through creativity, courage, and empathy. Humans are capable of greatness. The Central Archive activated fully. Maps, technologies, and records of long-lost civilizations filled the chamber. Alex felt a surge of pride. The knowledge here could advance humanity by centuries, perhaps even teach humans to navigate the stars in ways previously unimaginable. But more than the technology, Alex understood the lesson. Humans thrived not because of strength, but because of heart and mind. The station also revealed a final surprise: a blueprint for a starship even more advanced than the Aurora's Whisper, capable of journeys to distant galaxies, with energy systems that humans could never have imagined without the combination of human intuition and the station's knowledge. Alex realized this could be humanity's next step, an opportunity to become explorers, not conquerors, but pioneers in the truest sense. Returning to the Aurora's Whisper, Alex reflected on the journey. Every asteroid belt navigated, every nebula crossed, every alien drone outsmarted had been a lesson. Humans were underestimated not because they were weak, but because they were unpredictable. They adapted, learned, and innovated in ways no other species could. That unpredictability combined with courage and empathy was humanity's greatest strength. As Alex prepared to leave the station, a final hologram appeared. It depicted a human figure standing among stars, holding a glowing symbol of knowledge. A voice echoed one last time, "The galaxy will remember those who create, adapt, and care. Humans are not just participants. You are pioneers. Your legacy begins here." Alex smiled. The Aurora's Whisper hummed in approval. Together they had proven that humans, often overlooked and underestimated, had a place among the stars. The ship, once considered a myth, had awakened its pilot. And the galaxy, once vast and unknowable, now held new possibilities because of human courage and ingenuity. With engines powered and systems ready, the Aurora's Whisper departed from the ancient station. Alex looked out at the stars, imagining the civilizations that had built the station, the signals they had left behind, and the humans who would one day follow. Every challenge, every test, every leap into the unknown had prepared Alex and humanity for this moment. The galaxy had underestimated humans. It would not make that mistake again. As the ship glided into uncharted space, Alex felt a sense of purpose deeper than any adventure before. Knowledge, discovery, creativity, courage. These were human strengths. And with them, Alex knew humanity could reach beyond myths, beyond legends, beyond the limits set by others. For the first time in history, a human had navigated uncharted systems, unlocked the secrets of an ancient civilization, and proven that myths were real. But more importantly, Alex realized, humans had proven themselves capable of anything. And in the quiet of the cockpit, surrounded by glowing panels and the soft hum of the ship, Alex whispered, "This is just the beginning." The Aurora's whisper pulsed with energy as if agreeing. Ahead lay countless stars, uncharted worlds and mysteries waiting to be solved. But one truth remained. Humans, with their courage, creativity, and heart, would rise to meet them all. And with that, the journey continued, not just for Alex, but for all of humanity.